Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
It's nice to have both of you here. Akanksh, congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am.
Nikhil, congratulations.
Thank you so much,
and also the Clat head of Time Bangalore should congratulate you.
Thank you so
Banta
much.
to hai. Right, great. Both of you are going to one particular place, right?
Yeah.
And what is that particular place? Can you be loud and clear and tell me which is that place?
NUJS, WBNUJS, that's the Kolkata NLU,
Okay.
and it's BSc
Okay, both of you are taking up BSc LLB as a course. Now, before I come into your selection as to why BSc LLB, I want to know your background. Okay, Akanksh, which school are you from? What did you study?
Yeah, so I'm from NPS Kolkata. I took a science stream with economics.
Okay, that's a unique combination to take
Yeah.
up. But did you take up science wanting to be an engineer or a doctor?
I took up science initially to do engineering, yes, but I always sort of knew in the back of my head that it wasn't really for me.
It is going to be law.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
You're very clear about that.
I was clear about it.
Great. Nikhil, you took up humanities. What were your subjects?
My subjects were history, political science, economics, and my elective was legal studies.
Okay, so legal studies must have motivated you to a large extent.
Yeah.
But then it need not be a natural selection,
Yeah.
right? What motivated you to take up law?
If I'm being honest, I took up humanities mainly because I didn't like to do maths. And my first choice, actually, I'm very interested in international relations. I was thinking of just doing a bachelor's in international relations. But then I heard about CLAT. If I'm being completely honest, the first time I heard about CLAT was in 11th grade when my friends were talking about it. I didn't know what it was. But then when I heard the subjects it had reasoning, quant, it had legal reasoning, logical reasoning. I think those subjects, interested me. And then when I took up legal studies, I realized that, okay, it's not as boring as people think it to be. So I think that's where.
So is there an inspiration, Nikhil, for you to take up law?
Yes. I think I want to do my further studies in international law and hopefully work for the UN. So I think that's where my interest came in.
Nice. What motivated you to take up law? Being it's always intriguing for me. How is a science student wanting to do law?
So I spent a lot of my time in 9th and 10th grade doing MUN's model parliaments. So I already had that background that I enjoy arguing. Plus I was very into dramatics. So I love performing. That's essentially where
That's a unique motivation, trust me.
Yeah, it's a unique motivation. But I also was very interested in. I was also very interested in general awareness, keeping up with GK. Learning procedure. I love the way a MUN procedure goes. Sitting there. All the moderated,
correct, absolutely.
moderated caucuses we used to have.
And if you've been actively participating, it becomes like an addiction. You want to be a part of it every time.
The more you participate, the more motivation you have to
Yeah,
participate.
Absolutely. Now the question is, what made you choose offline CLAT, with Time Bangalore? Why did you take up an offline course?
Right. Okay, the first reason I would say is I've been through online schooling. I think we've all been through online schooling, and I realized that for me at least, I get distracted a lot when I'm at home.
It's not in the classroom.
It's not only because of being at home, but I just feel like I can't get into the mood of studying. There's always my mom might call me to do a chore or something, and I realized that when I'm in an actual classroom with students and an actual teacher in front of me, I don't get distracted and I have the focus to complete my task.
You've been with us 2 years, right? To complete years. So that's a long time. You literally spent 2 years with us.
Exactly.
What made you choose offline coaching, and why didn't you, go and prefer an online one?
Never a fan of online. If I'm being honest.
Right, I guess you all were part of the pandemic online stuff, and
Yeah,
I know
pretty
you
much.
get
And then
that up,
yeah.
right? So I would want to know your opinion about your classroom training and what did you feel was the additional factor that helped you crack an examination?
I feel like the modules were a lot of help in helping me actually build a base about these subjects which I haven't really had much contact with.
Yeah.
There is something like logical reasoning, or you say something like legal reasoning, which I haven't actually done in prior years. Reading comprehension still I had done quite a bit.
Yeah.
But these subjects like logical reasoning, understanding what an assumption
Absolutely.
is, understanding that fundamental
Yeah.
of difference between premise and conclusion.
Yeah, it can be nightmarish if you don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And that sort of bothered me until pretty much the last stretch of my prep.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of time to get a hang of that. So the modules and the questions that you do really help it.
Okay. What is your opinion, take on the classroom training that you had?
I really enjoyed it. Similarly, I thought I knew what reading comprehension was. I thought it's very easy. But then when I realized a single paragraph has so many different compositions. There's the conclusion, there's a presumption, there's an assumption, all of that. I think it helped me because a lot of the faculty members, they gave a lot of tips and tricks to remember how do you find the assumption, what's the poet trying to convey. And then I also enjoyed the logical reasoning part because I like doing puzzles. And to do puzzles, you need a lot of tips and tricks, which I think the teachers helped me a lot in. And I think that helped me solve each passage in the actual CLAT exam in a matter of 2-3 minutes each.
I think he should go more for month, no?
I have gone to various months, but then I've not been able to do it in 12th grade that much because I was focusing on CLAT. But then
there's going to be a lot of exposure in the college that you're getting into.
College, yes.
You're getting to one of the best institutions for juridical sciences. Yes. Now, I would hand over the questioning to the CLAT head of Time Bangalore, Akash. Let him take you. He definitely wants to know a few things from you.
In fact, I'm eager to ask a lot of questions, especially regarding your preparation and how you prepare for subjects. So, my first question with you is like the most feared subject in CLAT, is quantitative techniques and GK.
Yeah.
Quantitative techniques because a lot of aspirants, they don't want to spend time solving maths. As you said, that one of your fear was not one of your reason for choosing humanities was mathematics. And then the second subject, GK and current affairs, because of the uncertainty that it brings in.
Yeah.
So how did you ace these subjects?
So for me, I think maths was just practice. Daily practice is important for maths. And the maths in CLAT is actually quite simple. It's basic maths, it's just ratio, proportions, etc. There's nothing hardcore about it. There's not a lot of formulas you need to remember. There's no geometry. I don't like geometry, but then simple maths is what I enjoy, especially when you find the answer and you get to know that you're solving the sum correctly. You enjoy it and you can't stop. For GK is scary. I think GK was the only thing I actually feared when I was preparing for CLAT because GK is vast. You never know what can come, and it's impossible to be 100% accurate in GK. So for me, it was first reading the newspapers, but then I think reading the newspapers is not only important because you just to get to know current affairs. It's to get the habit of reading because when you do your CLAT exam, it's 2 hours of hardcore reading. If you get distracted or if you can't read for 2 hours continuously, you'll not be able to finish the paper and your head will start hurting. So for me, I think I'm happy I started reading the newspaper because I got back the habit of reading. And other than that, I think the compendiums of GK helped. And I think maybe I got a little bit lucky because I'm an Av geek. And one of the topics in the CLAT exam was the Air India crash, unfortunately. So I knew all of the answers by heart, even though I might not have, explicitly done research. I just knew it, and I think that's what you need. You need to find a niche where it doesn't feel like a chore when you're researching about it. It should just feel like a hobby, in my opinion.
Okay, the same question to you.
Yeah, I had a pretty good foundation quant setup.
I know, being a science student, how can you not have?
Yeah, exactly. And I was pretty confident with my quant, but even then, I feel like the quant we do in CLAT is sort of an 8th and 9th portion. And in 10th, we didn't necessarily focus on that. And what I'm learning in math and 11th and 12th is also not focusing on that. So I spent my 11th just brushing up those concepts of quant, learning the shortcut tricks, whatever we thought. And then, as time went on, I got a hang of quant easily. About GK, I completely agree with what he said. A newspaper cannot be your only limited source. A newspaper does not go into enough depth about the GK topics enough. It is a very good space to read, to keep yourself updated on the current points, but it is not enough.
Okay, that also takes me to another question. There were workshops conducted for GK. So what is your take on those workshops? I think Akash took a lot of workshops. So I would definitely want to know your opinion about how the workshops helped you. So your take.
The workshops with Akash sir took online were very good. I thoroughly enjoyed attending them because it was fun to learn. It is fun when someone is teaching it to you rather than you just compiling information all at once. Yeah.
So could you relate some of the topics that he taught in the exam? Were they kind of there?
Yeah, I feel like one of the first topics Akash sir took in February was about the Air Force Day or something. And that's when I realized that, aviation could be very important. And coincidentally, unfortunately, an extremely important event happened. So I knew that this has a very good chance of coming.
Yeah. Right. What is your take?
Yeah, similarly, I think we had it weekly an online class with GK. It really helped me because it got me into the habit of making notes. I never made notes about GK. I thought I'd just memorize them, but which was a bad mistake. But then once I started attending Sir's classes, I started making notes every week. And I think a lot of topics that he taught came directly into the exam, like the next SEO summit, which was if I'm not wrong, it's in Kyrgyzstan. I would have never known that if I had not attended first classes, so I think it.
Right, he's hands-on.
Yeah,
he's like a walking, talking encyclopedia. I go to him for things. You were talking about GK and your preparation for GK, so go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like GK is so vast. You will never be done. GK will never be done. You have to be done with GK at one point in your prep.
So you have to draw a line. Okay, this is where I stop preparing from, and the most important key in GK, as I always say, is revision. You keep revising things. You focus on certain topics, and then you keep revising.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, did you attempt all the 12 questions in the Clat paper, the quant?
Yes,
you did. What about you?
I left 2 questions in quant, but then the other 10 that I attempted, I got all of them.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, 10 is a solid attempt and you're getting all the 10 right. Yeah. Being a humanities student, man, kudos. I'm a humanities. A firm handshake, please.
Oh, yeah.
I'm also very happy that you did that because I run away miles from mathematics. Right.
Now, the next question that I want to ask you is about mocks, right? Everyone keeps talking about mocks, that how important they are. So I actually want to know from you what is the role that mocks played in your life, in your preparation, and how much analysis you did for the mocks.
We'll start with him, okay?
Sure.
Talks too much.
Sure.
No, just kidding. Yeah, go on.
Mocks are the most important thing. Straight up, there's no sugarcoating it. You need to start writing mocks. If you're not able to do it every week in 11th, at least try getting 2 in every month. But as 12th comes around, every week 1 mock up until September, then you need to start amping it up to 2, maybe 3 a week. And then in November, I pretty much wrote 1 mock every day till the 20th.
That's a lot of hard work.
And after that, I toned it down. So that's what it comes down to. Mocks actually get you into the habit.
So how did you analyze your mocks? Was the question that you asked.
Okay, analysis of mocks. I used to do it right after I wrote a mock, because that's when the questions and your reasoning as to why you marked a certain option is fresh in your head. And then what I used to do is, I think what a lot of people miss out on is they don't check their correct answers. They don't analyze their correct answers. I had a habit of marking in the question paper what answers I had a doubt on. I'm like, in a lot of passages of legal and logic, you can reduce it to 50-50.
Correct.
And then if you reduce it to 50-50, I got an advice from Akanksh, sir, just shoot. So even those shoot questions, even if you get it right, it's very important to look at the reasoning given there, match it up with your reasoning, because that gives you a view of what the examiner is looking for.
Absolutely.
From a reasoning point of view.
Correct. So what is the scariest section for you among the 5?
GK.
GK. Okay. So you've already told us what you.
I mean, I got the highest in I got the highest in GK in Clat compared to all my mocks.
Fantastic.
So that's
fantastic. Now your take on mocks.
Sure. I think mocks are obviously non-negotiable. A lot of people have this thing that they need to finish their portions first and only then start their mocks, which is extremely wrong. Don't do that. I started doing my mocks when I was in 11th itself, and I think mocks are extremely helpful and you can't miss them out. You can't compare mocks to any worksheets or sections that you do, because when you do a mock, you're first of all being timed. You understand that you only have 2 hours, and you understand the format of the paper. And there's a lot of pressure as well. You can't be casual about it. And if you compare it to just doing a sectional, you're not solving a whole paper. You're just solving one section at a time. You can't time yourself. So you might take 15 minutes. You might take 20 minutes. And then if you don't solve a mock, you'll never understand how much time you can devote to each section, which is extremely important. And I think that's the main thing. And mocks also give you, it's a very big question bank, especially for GK. I think GK was scary for me as well. It was the toughest subject for me. But then when I saw the mocks, there was a certain pattern, right? There are certain topics that will come and there are certain topics that won't come. So once you realize what topics will come in the mocks, it helps you study GK.
Understood. Anything else?
Yeah, so as you said that mocks, help you to keep things in place and keep checking your progress, right? Now, of course, when you write a mock, you completely get immersed into it for the 2 hours, rather than just doing a sectional sheet or sectional test where you're just focusing on one section. Now, I want to know from you guys how much mocks you wrote and when exactly did you started writing mocks?
Sure. So for me, I started in 11th grade. I think I took it only maybe once every 2 weeks until probably May of 2025. And then from May, I started doing once every week. And then as we got closer to the exam, it was twice a week from I think September till November. And Yeah, from now, I think the last few weeks I didn't do much, but then the last week of November I solved a mock every day. So in total, I would say about 50 mocks of CLAT.
What's your take on this?
I wrote a lot of mocks. My mom had told me that you need to write mocks every day, every week, no matter what happened. You have an exam the next day, doesn't matter, just go and write a mock. I didn't follow that in 11th, but as 12th came around, I also knew that it's high time.
Correct.
And so as September came around, I also amped it up to 2, maybe 3 mocks a week if I get time. And then November, the first 20 days, I wrote a mock each day. I analyzed a mock each day after that, and I focused on my weak spots. Because I feel like that last month in November, at least those first 20 days, they are very crucial. Yeah. Because if you can sort out a mistake then, or like a conceptual error nothing better.
That's your playing ground.
Yeah.
So you play and you don't repeat the same mistakes. Exactly. Now, both of you have opted for BSc LLB. So why BSc LLB?
BSc LLB for me was, honestly, if I wasn't getting NLS or NASDAR, it was BSc LLB. Because I'm not sure if I want to go fully into the corporate side yet. And BSc LLB keeps your options open.
Okay.
Where the subjects I have, forensics and criminology, they keep like a criminal law side open, right? Instead of just going into a corporate from BA or BBA LLB.
Correct. The same thing, being a humanities graduate, you managed to get BSc LLB. So why?
I think I found these subjects very interesting. I am criminology and forensics. And the thing is, it's a very niche subject. The BSc LLBs are quite rare if you compare it to maybe a BBA or a BA. And I think, as you said, the scope for the LLB remains the same because you'll be learning the same subjects. But then you also have an added advantage because you're learning more of a practical based approach compared to the BA. And I think it keeps your options open. Even I'm not sure if I want to get into litigation or corporate. I might even want to do my further studies. So it keeps my options open and it gives me a niche subject that will, set us apart from the millions of other students.
I think you're very clear. You said international law is what you want to do.
Yeah.
So it does keep your options open. So let's sum it up, and I want a quick, two-liner about your experience with time bound law and how do you sum up your success story.
I think my experience with time Bangalore was amazing. The amount of modules, the study material and the marks I received, those were very, very integral in my prep, and the prep was good. Okay. I had fun with it.
Did you find the faculty members approachable?
All of them are approachable, especially Akanksh sir.
Okay. Your take on, you sum it up, 2 lines, not more than 2 lines.
Sure.
Yeah.
Similarly, I think I would have not been able to, reach this position without time. I enjoyed the faculties a lot, especially Akanksh sir and Vijay ma'am as well. And the material was extremely helpful, and I enjoyed the quality of the mocks as well.
Perfect. All right. So wishing you all the best. And yes, if he has a last question to ask you, I will definitely.
No, I just have one more question. Especially for the students who are going to prepare who are going to appear for CLAT this year. One question that keeps coming is how you keep yourself motivated, right? Because CLAT is a long journey, right? So how you keep yourself motivated and how you keep calm, especially during the last months and specifically during the exam. When you go inside the exam hall, all the pressure builds in. So how do you keep control over your nerves, and how do you keep yourself motivated throughout the journey?
My attitude was fake it till you make it. I always kept in my head that I am AR1. Okay. I just need to write the exam. I already know I'm AR1.
Yeah, this word called manifestation.
Yeah, exactly. And then also what you said about keeping calm on the day, I feel like mocks help a lot in that. The habit which you get into, it almost becomes like the last D-Day is another mock itself.
Yeah, true. What about
similarly for me, I think I had a soft board in front of my table whenever we used to study, and I had pinned a picture of the NLSIU tower there, and I wanted to be there obviously, but then every morning when I woke up, I used to see that photo and I used to be like, okay, I can't give up now, I'm already into it. And similarly, I just keeping calm is extremely important, because even if you have studied everything, even if you're 100% confident, if you're not confident on the day of the exam, you're gonna get ruined. So it's important to remain calm, and as you said, think of the actual CLAT exam as another mock.
All right, great. Thank talking to both of you. All the very best once again. Best of luck once again. Do very well. All right. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.